Thank you for your time for honoring this class, our evening class. We will continue talking about finance, and we're just on the path to handle financial freedom. I believe each and every person here really wishes to be free financially so that you don't have to be worried about what you're going to acquire money from, or where, or by which time you're going to. You need freedom. So basically, there are things you're going to tackle. We're going to talk about the reality check of money. We are going to look at different types of income. We are going to see the discipline under the income. We are also going to talk about uh, how this money or the income we have, we can invest it so that it compounds over a period of time. We shall also going to distinguish between assets and liabilities. And finally, we shall going to have a framework, the action framework, on how we should earn up to how we should reinvest our money. Then lastly, we are going to have our homework on how we are going to track our income and know how to spend. Thank you. This is the reality check that I've been telling all of us each and every time, that it doesn't matter how much you earn. It does not matter how less you earn or how more you earn. What matters is your behaviors with the little or the many you're earning. Now that is the best line of and the bottom line of this topic. So your behaviors with your income really matters a lot. Your income doesn't matter as long as you're earning something. The behavior behind that earning matters a lot. So with that, we're going to look at types of income, and I want you to be engaged. So types of income. Why is this pen not writing well? So types of income. Number one,
you have leverage income.
leverage income. Tell us about leverage income.
Leverage income sijui kanaweza zungumza kwa Kiswahili.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Leverage income, this is where you start a business. That business inaanza kukuingishia salary or commissions.
Yeah. Thank you. Another type of income. Number two,
Active income.
active income. Tell us about active income.
Active income ni kama mshahara yenye unalipwa mwisho wa mwezi, kitu kama hiyo.
Correct. Another type of income, if you know. Basically, those are the two main types of incomes. The leverage income that Junda has talked about, also known as passive income, and the active income. Actually, if you want to differentiate between the two, this one is real work. You must be there. It is physical. Then this one is passive. You don't have to be present to work to earn money. So in short, this one, money works for you. And he has categorically said that maybe you have a business and your input, you already put there your input, so it just generates income to you. Or maybe you have an investment, like you have rental houses, you have other businesses or other shares, maybe you have shares and whatever. So if money comes in your pocket without your physical presence there, that means that is a passive income. We have number three, which is asset income. This is not so common, asset income, but it's also useful. We find that asset income, it's more of passive income, but it's more stabilized. Apart from that, we want to discuss about spending discipline. This is very important for us. Remember, I talked about it's not about how much you acquire. It's about your behaviors. And if you ever read the book Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, it categorically says that if you want to acquire financial freedom, you don't have to be a genius. You don't have to have a strategic plan. What you have to do is you should have discipline. You should have consistency. And these all things are behavioral, so that you don't spend money where you should not be spending money. You should be very categorical when you are spending money. So you should plan before you earn. That is number one point about spending discipline. That is now in budgeting. You should budget before you earn. For example, you're earning 50,000 a month. Before the salary enters into your bank account, you should already budget for the money. Number two is savings. That is now pay yourself first. What you should do, you should plan to save money through your income before you acquire money, or before you spend what you earn. You should plan to save however little you get. You should plan to save. Remember, it's all about behavioral. Save a little and save consistently. Then after that, you should now start cutting. You should start cutting off wastage, things that are not essential. For instance, you are using credit, let's say 2,000 a month, or Wi-Fi. You can reduce that to maybe 1,500 or 1,000. So you start cutting wastages. Transport money that takes you to work. Maybe you're using 5,000, you have your own car. You can now reduce that to 3,200, 500 when you board a matatu. So you start now cutting down wastages. Any amount that you feel that is going, or rather is going unaccountable, or it is being accounted overrated, you can cut it down, so that in the near future you'll be free financially. Then you should avoid lifestyle inflation. That is point number 4. Lifestyle inflation. Remember, inflation in finance is all about how the rise of commodities are. So this comes when maybe your salary increases, or your business now attracts more clients and you get more money. So you find that if you're in a house, maybe you're paying your rent for, let's say, 40,000 a month, and by this time you are earning 100,000 a month. So the company or where you're working, or your business now gives you double this month, or salary increment of 100%. You find that majority of people will now relocate to a house of 80,000. Now that is lifestyle inflation. You should avoid this, so that when your money increases, or your income increases, or income streams expand, you just maintain your 40,000 rent. So you should avoid this lifestyle inflation for you to acquire financial freedom. Let me have a duster here. Important things or pathway to financial freedom. Sorry for interruption. This. Let me stand. I think everyone is watching. Want to distinguish between assets and liabilities. What are assets and what are liabilities? In simple terms, anyone?
Okay. Assets. These are things that you own, and they are valuable to you. They bring you money. And liabilities. These are things that doesn't bring money. They are just for status.
So Terry is telling us that assets puts money in your pockets, while liabilities takes away money in your pockets. Can anyone give us examples of assets that you know? Skills are assets. They bring money in your pocket. Number two, shares in circles, or if you have shares, they are assets. Number three, houses or rentals. Number four, anything that puts money in your pocket. Can you think? Businesses, correct. Let's talk about liabilities. One, you can put here vehicles, but commercial vehicles. Liabilities, let's talk about
Phones.
mobile phones to some extent. You're right. Number two, alcohol and drugs. And this is very serious. It's draining money, especially from Gen Zs. Gambling, whether you like it or not, lies in liability. Next, some vehicles for status, that is. You have a 4x4 vehicle that it takes 10,000 fuel a day. That is a liability. Another one,
Girls.
girls or women to some extent, but you can have a girlfriend or a woman who is an asset. So let's write here girls and write here girls. It can vary, even vehicles are here and here, right? So you can have a girlfriend who uplifts you up, all right, who ensures that your lifestyle is positive. He makes your life to be positive. But most girls drain you because you spend much of the, people think that spending money on girls is the only liability, but time is very essential to you as a man. So when you have time to spend with your girlfriends, remember time is money, and time is an asset also. Let's put here time. Time is an asset. So you should make sure that you're using a good way of your time. All right. So if you can distinguish between assets and liabilities, then you will know how to do what? To eliminate things that are not good for you, the things that will make you fail to achieve your financial freedom. So if you can subtract girls so that you just remain with one who is an asset, because when you have one girlfriend, I assume she might be your wife, or she's your wife, she'll bring kids to you. And to some extent, I don't want to say kids are also assets. All right. So you just remain with one girlfriend or one wife who is an asset. Then you eliminate vehicles that are not commercial. If you are capable of buying V8, but you have now chosen to buy a VIT, which is 1.3 liters, then it means that you're applying, or you're on your way to financial freedom. All right. So that you live below your means. You can afford something which is of big value, but you've decided, because you want to acquire financial freedom, now you do what? You buy something that is low. So you're living in a below your means. Gambling. I'm not talking about gambling because I discourage people to gamble. Remember, this one is addictive. Gambling is addictive. Alcohol is addictive, and drugs. People who goes to Bania Square every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Phones, by the way, affects most of us. Find that from the morning to evening, you're on your phone, and it really damages us. I remember talking about phones some few weeks ago, how it damages our brain, how it damages our work, our focus. Yeah. So you should reduce your screen time so that you take your phone and use it intentionally. You don't just take your phone and scroll anyhowly. you should be intentional with your phones. Phones are good devices. By the way, phones can come here to assets, but if you use it correctly. Now, come to skills. Improve your skills each and every time. And under skills here, we can add knowledge. Remember, these things compounds. These assets do compounds over time. So if you increase your knowledge of skills, you increase your shares, your houses, your businesses. Remember, you want to increase your streams of your income. It compounds over time. And by doing that, you are going to achieve your financial freedom. So lastly, we're going to look at a framework on how we are going to earn our money from earning. Then we're going to save. Then we're going to invest. And then we reinvest. This is the way to go. If you want to become financial free, however much you're earning or however little you're earning, you should save. I normally refer this saving as storing. Storing money. You know, if I say saving, maybe you think that you just have money and then you put in your pocket, which is not adding value. But if you're storing money, it means that you're just waiting for an opportunity to do what? To invest. After doing that, after investing, then you reinvest. If you do that, then your pathway to financial freedom is here. This is the framework you're going to remember and you're going to work on it. Any question?
Okay. I have one question. It goes to assets and liability.
Correct.
Is labor an asset or a liability? Labor is like working to get salary. So maybe after working you get that salary. That salary comes in forms of income to the worker. So is this labor an asset or a liability?
Who can answer that?
It's a liability.
Explain.
Because you give out the money to the workers. Ama muuliza nilitaka kujua kama ni asset ama liability. Sasa for example umefanya kazi. Hiyo kazi umefanya si nilini. Na umepata salary. So is it an asset or a liability? Hiyo ni asset juu imekuletea pesa kwa mfuko.
Labor to you, to a laborer, anything that it puts money in your pocket, that is an asset. So anything that you're doing, remember you're doing the work from your skills, all right? And we said skills are assets. Any other question? Terry, did you fill all your paper?
Almost.
Where haven't you filled your paper?
Time effect, core idea, money, reality check, financial growth pyramid.
Number 1 is?
Core idea.
Number 2?
Money, reality check.
And number 3?
Financial growth pyramid.
Number 4?
Time effect.
It's only 2 things, the pyramid that we have not talked about, but all other things we have talked about. The reality check is something that we began with, and we say that it's not about how much you get or you earn. It's about your behaviors. That is the reality check. So on our pyramid, I will write like this. Then number 1 is financial discipline. This is essential. This is the baseline. Then after that, income growth. Then lastly, cash flow or asset. cash flow. So the very much important thing is financial discipline. Here is where we have budgeting. And remember what we talked about budgeting is that you are budgeting before you are earning. All right. So that when you receive your 10,000, you already know that 6,000 goes to this one, 4,000 goes to this one. All right. So don't wait to acquire money or income so that you can budget for it. Budget first before you earn. All right. So here in budgeting, you'll write you budget first before earning. After that, we have savings. Now, under savings, I was categorical by saying pay yourself first. By paying yourself first, what you should do is as you earn your 10,000 a month, for example, you're earning 10,000 a month. If you earn 10,000 a month, you already budgeted the 10,000. And by this budgeting, savings is inclusive because it's habitual. Remember, however much or however less you earn, if you can save a little or some percentage to your money, then you're creating yourself in a behavior that is very good to do what? To take you to financial freedom. So what you should do is as you budget for savings or storing. Remember, I discourage people to use savings, but storing money is just putting money somewhere so that as investment comes in, you are free to go. Then next is focus. Under focus, we are talking about your behaviors. And let me now write here habits. I'm talking about, and remember, number one thing of budgeting is to save or store money. After that, the remaining money, you should be focused about it. You should be very intentional so that you are not spending the remains for things that we've talked about, liabilities, things like alcohol, things like gambling, things like ladies, and what have you, things that take away money. All right. So by focus is to ensure that your mind is all right, so that you know where to spend and where to ensure that you are investing. Habits is the same thing. So after that, you now strive for income growth. This is our second column of our pyramid. Income growth, we talked about increasing skills. Remember, when your skill increase, your income will also increase. After that, maybe we will talk about increase your businesses. Then you can also have multiple sources of income. This is also very key to financial freedom. You should strive to ensure that you have many streams of income so that you are not dependable on your work or on your salaries. So if you acquire salaries, for example, you've saved and you're focused and your habits are all right, it means that you will do what? You will now invest. By investing in skills, in businesses, you will have multiple sources of income. If you do that, then you'll have financial freedom. As easy as that. Then after that, then we're going to talk about now assets and cash flow. Now this one, it will talk about investments. Here, now money works for you. This explains how passive income is achieved. So you already have multiple sources of income. You already have cash flow that generates income even if you're asleep. There is one influencer who says that if you're not earning when you're asleep, then you don't have financial freedom. You should ensure that you have so many sources of income so that you can earn money even if you're asleep, and that will be beneficial to you. You will travel to where you want to travel. You'll do what you want. You'll have power, and you'll be a successful person. So in general, these are the basics I want you to go with home, because most of us are here. We remain here because we lack discipline that is required to be financial free. If we focus here with the class and the lesson we've talked about, so that you budget, so that you save or store money, you get focused, and you make sure your habits are intact, then believe me, no, we are on the journey to do what? Financial freedom. That is the pyramid we intended to talk about this night. Unless there is anyone with clarification, I beg to end the class there. Any clarification or question, I'm taking it right away. Clarification, then I will ask a question, and it's a takeaway assignment. I want all my students to do this, to list all income sources they have. After listing all income sources, you list all your monthly expenses. Then you identify one expense to cut and redirect to assets. After that, then take action within 30 days and come back here. You'll thank me. Thank you so much. Let's come back to our next class. We shall expand on our financial freedom. We need to ensure that each and every person here has financial freedom. All right. I will also encourage you to read more books of finance, and I encourage you to read Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. I also encourage you to read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This book gives you the way forward on how you can ensure that you're free financially, both investment, both savings, both habitual, and everything I think will be all right. Because of time, I beg to stop there. Welcome tomorrow to our next class.